Hi there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Coach G Show on FGUnites.com. Jon Lauder with the head coach of the Fairleigh Dickinson men's basketball team, Coach Herenda. Coach, happy holidays. How are you?
John, thank you very much. I'm doing great.
Now, big reason for that is the big win against Hofstra yesterday. You guys win in impressive fashion, shooting the lights out, over 50% from the field and from three. Just some thoughts on what you saw from the team getting that win against a team that beat you by a bunch earlier in the season.
Well, I'm really just proud of my guys. Where we came from after our first Hofstra game to that point yesterday when we won the basketball game, we've really showed great improvement, and that's what this program needs to do, is improve. And we found some young guys that stepped up in a big spot. We shot the basketball, but what I think was overlooked in the game is our defensive effort. We held a very potent team to 38, I believe it was 38% and 16% from three. So our defense was good, our offensive execution was good, and we got out-rebounded by one, which is like out-rebounding somebody by 20 the way we rebound. So we played a complete game, but now we go into conference play, and it's a totally different animal. And but you can see the strides that we're taking, and but we have many more strides to take.
Now, you had 5 different players scoring double figures. Now, of course, Sidney Sanders paced the way with 31 points, but talk to me about the offensive balance. That's something that's kind of been missing at times this season.
Yeah, and I think Sid's biggest stat in that game was his 7 assists. So 7 assists, people look at 7 and they don't multiply it by 2 or 3. So if you multiply 7 assists by 2.5, you're quickly close to 20 points, and 30, that's 50 points of our 80. So we have offensive players. Our young guys, Malachi's, scored 1,600 points. I'm waiting for him to score. But, Matt's a scorer. Scott's a scorer. Jade can score. Right now Mike is a rebounding, defending foul machine. But it's, it's a good group. And then our returning players haven't had the ability to score, but obviously now Sid's gone from 4.6 to 19.6. So I'm happy with my guys, but there's still so much more room for improvement, and hopefully we'll improve and start winning conference games.
Now, out-of-conference schedule's over. What's the biggest kind of area of growth that you saw throughout the out-of-conference schedule as you go into conference play now?
I think just the theory of relativity. The first time we played Hofstra, we couldn't believe how big they were and quick they were, but then we went to Arizona,
right,
and we couldn't believe how big and quick and strong and great they were. And then you go to Iowa, and then Princeton, and I think Columbia might be one of the most overrated teams or underrated teams in the metropolitan area, and even in that Ivy League. They're really, really good. So I just think what's impressed me is that we've gravitated to the level that you play at. So, we went to Arizona, and we couldn't beat them, but we played at their level for minutes. Iowa, the same thing. And now we're taking a lot of confidence from those games, a lot of great experience, and now applying them to games against people that are in our realm and now in our conference. So our guys are just getting better every day. They work really hard. I love coming to practice, and that's the key. I think every coach right now either loves coming to their practices or doesn't. There's no guy, well, it's almost. I love coming to our practices, and I think now our players love coming to our practices because there's juice, there's life. And I've told our guys, since I've gotten here, is that we want to play meaningful games in January and February. And right now we have our first meaningful game, tomorrow, actually on Thursday night.
And you mentioned that conference play starts Mount St. Mary's at home, then Sacred Heart on the road this weekend. Just some thoughts on kind of what you expect to see as kind of NEC play gets underway.
I don't know. I really, I'm excited about it. I think it's a highly underrated league. You can just see. I was just watching the tape of Mount St. Mary's playing Penn State, and they were just beating them up. They were beating Penn State all night, and we beat Seton Hall, and St. Francis beats Miami. So I think the league is good, and LIU should have beat Indiana. So I think the people say, well, now you're going to get into your league and win games. It's not the way it works. You got to earn everything every night. There's a lot of really good. For the first time in my life, I feel old. All these coaches, I saw them play basketball when they were kids for the most part. I'm a big fan of the coaches of the league, and I'm just excited. So for me to forecast what's going to happen or what have you, I just know we're going to come out and play hard, try our best, and get after it. And if we do those things and the ball goes in the basket, as we saw on Sunday, then we have a chance to win some games.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
John, thank you very much.
All right, so make sure that you tune in Mount St. Mary's, either watching NEC Front Row or better yet, come to the Stratis Arena on Thursday at 7 o'clock. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk with senior Mathias Seilund.
The world has changed, and Fairleigh Dickinson University is doing something about it.
The biggest thing FDU has to offer is their global education.
Undergrad, master's, doctorate, whatever it is that you're looking for, they have so many different opportunities for so many different interests.
We give opportunities for people to change the way they view themselves and their world.
It's given me a chance to succeed.
They've made my dream come true.
I love it. I would choose no other place.
So we're back here on the Coach G Show, now speaking with senior Mathias Seilund. And Mathias, just talk to me a little bit about the growth you've seen in this team, kind of from the beginning of non-conference play to the end with that Hofstra game.
Well, I mean, I think the result speaks for itself, kind of. You know, we got beat by 22 in a really bad game that we weren't really prepared for. And in that first game, we didn't have anything to answer to their zone, and our offense wasn't going. We couldn't guard them. And in this game, the last game, we were better prepared. We knew how to play against the zone offensively. We were in a zone most of the game, and our zone we stopped them on defense. So I think we came a long way.
Now, the team had 5 players in double figures. Now, obviously, Sidney Sanders has been pacing you guys throughout the season, but what did it mean to you to kind of see more players sort of step up offensively, including yourself, 5 players in double digits, kind of spreading out that scoring a little bit more?
I think it's very nice. I think that's the way I envision us playing when I came here this summer with Coach G. Because we have a lot of good shooters, and we have Sidney, who's obviously playing the best basketball of his life. And with him, the way he goes to the basket, and then we can spread out with basically 3 or 4 shooters in the court. If we make our shots, I think we're really hard to guard.
Now, conference play starts up. How do you think the out-of-conference schedule has sort of prepared you guys for the NEC play and sort of some of the teams that you're going to see in the conference?
I think we've been prepared pretty well. We had a tough schedule. We played good teams, and I think a lot of teams compare well to what we'll see in the NEC. Hofstra is from the CAA, but you know they compare level-wise. I think they compare a lot to what we're going to see here: big athletic teams with quick guards and stuff.
And obviously, the goal is to get to the NEC tournament and beyond. We know that, but for you as a senior, what does this time mean for you right now? This is sort of your last opportunity, but you've kind of got a new coach, a new experience with Coach Herenda. Just kind of those thoughts on what you want to try to accomplish in this conference schedule, sort of your last go around here in the NEC.
Well, obviously, I've never made it to the NEC tournament, so that's a goal of mine, and hopefully make it all the way there. I mean, once we get there, anything can happen, you know.
All right, sure. Mathias, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the Coach G Show. As always, go to FGUnites.com for all the up-to-date and latest information on your FGUnites men's basketball team.